So I think it's about time we talked about the acts and story missions in Modern Warfare Zombies. Because the thing is that I actually think in terms of regular gameplay, they're really cool. Because through these missions, not only are a lot of them challenging, especially the ones later on, but on top of that, it forces you to experience all the different features of the game, whether it be the Storm Chaser boss, the Mega Abomination, or even just trying out all the different ammo mods. Like, it forces you to experience every aspect of the game, and I absolutely love that for it, because it just lets you get super used to the game. And then on top of that, it actually gives you some pretty good rewards most of the time. Every time you complete a mission, for the most part, it just gives you a random perk, but on top of that, they could also have a chance of giving you some really good stuff. Like, one of the final missions actually gives you the schematics for the Wunderwaffe DG2. Like, that is a really cool. I love stuff like that. Rewarding us for completing these missions is something that we really haven't seen in Zombies. Like, rewards is something that is very lacking, so it's honestly a huge breath of fresh air to see so many rewards in this game, especially for completing these missions. But that is not where my problem lies. It lies with nothing there, because that aspect of it is great. But the problem is that I have an issue when they start locking story in terms of cutscenes and also unique gameplay, especially in terms of boss fight, behind that giant mission grind. And the thing is, in this game, that mission grind is a long grind. Now, I've been hearing different times it takes to complete, but what I've been hearing is that it takes about 30 hours to complete all 3 acts and their missions. And that is a long time to grind a game, especially for your average player. Like, honestly, like, anybody watching this video that's not like a hardcore player like me, like, how many of you guys have actually gone through all the missions, completed them in Act 3 and beat the boss fight? Like, how many of you guys have even been able to attempt the boss fight? Like, be honest with me. And I'm not saying this to hate, like, or just make fun of you or whatever, but that's a long time to grind a game, right? Like, 30 hours is a long time, and I don't think a lot of people are going to do that. And it really sucks, because the boss fight at the end of this is really good, and I really like the boss fight in this game. Like, it's a really cool boss fight, and I wish more people could experience it, but most people aren't going to be able to do that because they don't have that 30 hours to grind through all 3 of the acts. So I just wish that they had done it in a different way. And it's not only the boss fight that I'm talking about here, it's also the cutscene. Like, how many people have actually watched these cutscenes in game? Like, all 3 of them. I doubt most of you guys have. I think everybody just probably watched them on YouTube, to be completely honest. Like, that's probably what happened here. So yeah, I mean, it's not really ideal, and I know most people in general are just watching cutscenes on YouTube anyways, but still, it would just be nice, at least for, you know, some people, to actually get them in game. And to me, my overall sentiment around this is that I like the missions, I really do, and I love the rewards they give you, but I just don't think they should be locking both story and boss fights behind such a long grind. Like, I just don't think that's how they should be handling this. And I know a counter argument to this would be like, well, didn't they lock boss fights and cutscenes behind an Easter egg before, and didn't only 1% of the player base do that? And that's fair enough, and I know that Treyarch has already tried to counteract that through making the Easter eggs easier over the years, especially with Cold War, but I still think it's different because this is a different style of game. And one thing I've been saying for a long time, and this is something I'll keep coming back to until they finally do it, but I just think it'd be 10 times better if they just turn these into raids. Like, just make raids. Forget these story missions or anything like that. Just turn them into raids. It's a perfect game mode for raids. It's a loot-based game, and you have to go and collect all that loot. And imagine collecting all that loot and then bring it into the raids and go then complete it. Like, it's perfect, guys. Just look how Destiny does it. Destiny's raids are amazing. Just do that. It's great. And I already think they have at least an idea of how you could do it. Like, they have 2 story missions before the boss fight after Act 1 and 2. Like, what if they just combines all of those story missions into a raid? Like, do something like that. I think it would just be so much better in handling it like that. It would just be way better, but that is not how they choose to handle it, at least on launch. There is some hints that they might be adding a raid with Season 1 or Season 1 Reloaded, but that's yet to be seen. But overall, I just think that this game would play 10 times better if they just added raids instead of these story missions. Like, keep the missions in there and the rewards, like that's cool. Even maybe tie some story stuff to these missions, just not full-blown cutscenes, right? Just like let that be a lot more accessible. At least let people have a chance at trying it, because I think that is the biggest difference from Easter eggs and this, because most players don't even have a chance at trying the boss fight. But at least with Easter eggs, people had a chance at trying the Easter egg to get to that boss fight, right? And you just don't have that opportunity right now, and I just think that should be changed. And again, I'm not advocating for Easter eggs here, and if they do add Easter eggs, I mean, I'm not going to hate either, but I just think a raid system would work really well in this game. But those are just my thoughts on the situation. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. You guys agree with me here, and you don't like the handling of the blocking behind boss fights and cutscenes behind a 30-hour grind, or do you guys disagree? You want to see it done in a different system? And if you want it changed, do you think this is more of a balancing issue here, or this is a fundamental issue that they should change it into, rather Easter eggs or raids? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Regardless though, that's going to wrap it up for me. If you guys did enjoy the video, then I would appreciate if you guys dropped a like, subscribe, bell, share, or any of that great stuff. But I'm going to go, and I'll catch you guys next stream, video, or whatever the heck it may be. And laters, guys.